Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel on the first episode of season 2, and it felt really fitting talking about Lucifer for the first video of the second season, because the first video of the first season of the show was talking about Lucifer and why you should watch it. So let's skip ahead 5 seasons and let's talk about season 5 as a whole. There's some good, there's some bad, some plot twists, but as always, it's very entertaining. Let's get into it. About 90% of you are not subscribed to the channel, was according to YouTube here to the analytics. So please, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. That way you'll know when the next episode drops. Now let's talk about Lucifer. In case you didn't know, season 5 was broken into 2 parts, part A and part B, and recently came out about 2 months ago, and I had planned on releasing this right when it came out, but I really wanted to save it for the first episode of season 2 because of what I said in the beginning of the video. Season 2 introduces Michael, which is Lucifer's twin brother, and he causes all sorts of trouble. He really is just hell-bent on ruining Lucifer's life on Earth, and he becomes the villain of the season. There are other things here and there, but it's mostly Michael for sure. What I really liked about this season as well, there was more time spent on character development for some of the side characters like Dan, Ella, Maze. There was a lot of stuff about Maze in this season, and it was really cool to see that. We get to see Amenadiel's son being born, which is it's kind of cool to see that. Maybe it was expected, maybe it wasn't. The Amenadiel would eventually have a kid, but it's cool how it happened. But the big part of season 5, part B, was the arrival of God. I never knew that God sold car insurance for a living. We've seen him in the Allstate commercials a lot. And he, the savior of the human race, the creator of the human race, shows up. So it's not a small deal. It's a very big deal, especially for Lucifer, because he hasn't seen his dad in thousands, maybe millions of years. At first, we think God's showing up because of the fight between Michael, Amenadiel, and Lucifer. But it turns out that he's there to pick a successor because God is retiring and he's losing his powers. Or so he thought. It was a scheme of Michael's all along, making him think that he was losing his power so he could choose him to be God. And this, as the season develops, it turns to a political battle between Lucifer and Michael, trying to get the other angels to vote for either or to become God. And there's some really funny moments, and there's some kind of cringy moments here and there, but then again, it's like I said, this is Lucifer. If you've been watching this since the beginning, then you know exactly what I'm talking about when I mean this is Lucifer.
Yeah, someone wet his whistle with poison.
That blows.
Nice. What are you gonna do though, right? Another one bites the dust. Walks warily down the street with the brim pulled way down low.
The show doesn't stop with its bread and butter, which is solving crimes. They keep doing that, and then in the side stories, they have Michael and Amenadiel, Michael and Lucifer campaigning to be God.
Since you're retiring, there'll be a new you, right? Who's it gonna be? If it's a secret, you can whisper it in my ear. I won't tell a soul.
It's obvious who will replace Father. It's Amenadiel.
Well, actually, it's not going to be Amenadiel. It's going to be the handsomest of us all.
Hanjobadiel?
No, not Hanjobadiel. It's going to be me.
What?
Who is more qualified than me? Good point. I ran hell for millennia. Have any of you run your own kingdom? Even so much as a taco truck?
And something that I didn't see coming is that God actually left to his wife's universe. If you remember, if you watch the show, she has her own universe now. He left to be over there with her, and he left even before they chose a successor. He just kind of left it up in the air. I was like, hey, here are the keys. You guys take care of this. See you later. I'm going to go sip pina coladas. There are some really shocking moments. One is finding out that Mazikeen grew a soul. She actually grew a soul, and she's starting to become more or less human. And then the biggest shock of all was the death of Dan, and finding out that Dan actually is in hell because of the past and the things that he can't forgive himself for. He's just trapped in a loop that he created himself, which is the whole thing why hell exists in the Lucifer's universe. I was sad. I was sad to find that out. I didn't want Dan to die, for once, and two, I didn't want Dan to die and go to hell. So, especially because we've seen hell in Lucifer, and it's obviously not a pleasant place. And then in the finale, we see the much awaited battle between Lucifer and Michael. Lucifer with his supporters and Michael with his supporters. And then in this fight, Chloe actually ends up dying. And it's up to Lucifer to go up to heaven to bring her back, because it's just not her time. But if you remember, Lucifer was banished from heaven. So by going up into heaven, he's putting his own life into danger, because once he gets up there, he starts melting like a water bottle in a hot car during the summer. I mean, he just starts bubbling up. Lucifer ends up saving Chloe, takes her back, and then we see Lucifer burst up in flames. Lucifer just turns into dust. He's barbecue, he's charcoal. But this show is called Lucifer, and they wouldn't just kill the main person like that and just leave it undone. And we see Lucifer come back as basically a whole new person. But it obviously doesn't take very long for us to find out that Lucifer isn't really dead. And Lucifer was actually, in a way, cleansed of all his sins, I guess you could say, because he ends up becoming God. Lucifer, the guy that we know from the past 5 seasons, is now God. Oh man. And season 5 just ends like that. Lucifer becomes God, fades screen to black. See you for season 6. Now season 6 is going to be the last one. All in all, I thought season 5 was good. There were some parts here and there. They were kind of slow, kind of boring. But all in all, it kind of kept its quality, its standards of Lucifer, of being funny and having sexual innuendos left and right, and just overall being a pleasant show to watch. So I'm going to give season 5 as a whole 7 out of 10. It wasn't the best season of Lucifer, but it wasn't the worst. Then again, none of the other seasons was really bad. All the seasons are pretty above average. Above average in my book is a 5 out of 10. So everything's been a 7 or 8 or 9 out of 10 for Lucifer so far. I hope season 6 goes out with a bang, 10 out of 10. I wouldn't want anything less. I really want to see a 10 out of 10 for season 6. That way Lucifer can go out as a bang and pay respects to the fans that ended up saving the show by asking Netflix to take over, because if you don't remember, it was canceled by Fox, and then Netflix swooped in and saved the day for all the Lucy fans out there. As far as expectations for season 6, we will see Lucifer being God. Obviously, he's going to see the struggle that it is and how difficult it is to get that job. And I think eventually he's going to give that up to Amenadiel. I think Amenadiel is obviously the best choice to be God here. So we'll see. I think Lucifer will be God for a little while. Eventually he'll be Amenadiel. Then him and Chloe can walk out into the sunset. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the change in the color scheme and the art, because down below there'll be 2 videos of my latest video and a playlist that I want you guys to watch. I'm not sure what I'm going to be putting out down here for you guys, but there's a little flame icon down here. You can click that. It'll take you directly to subscribe, or there's a little circle right here, somewhere around here, that'll also tell you to go ahead, hey, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys all very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.